This is William K. Murtaugh, Witness 1, and today I'd like to talk about war correspondence. Now, recently on his blog and BitChute account, Timothy Charles Homseth, through his publisher, has declared himself a war correspondent. He published a old military manual that came out during the Second World War, where it defined the protections for war correspondents. So I would gather from this that Tim Homseth is declaring himself to be a war correspondent. Now, at first glance, this would seem to be a bit ridiculous because we're not at war, and thus Tim Homseth should not be considered a war correspondent. But it has to be remembered that his publisher, who created the Pentagon Pedophile Task Force, has declared that there are members of the military, retired veterans, who are taking up arms in order to reinstall the former president as president, and has declared that Joe Biden is not the legitimate president of the United States. So since this is more likely to turn into a civil war, then that would make Tim Homseth a war correspondent. And since we would be in a war of sorts, by extension, that would make me a war correspondent. Even though I'm not declaring myself a war correspondent by definition, I suppose I could be defined as one because I am fighting a war against those fighting against the truth, fighting against those who lie to us on a daily basis. And the liars are, among other people, the inventors of the Pentagon Pedophile Task Force and associated groups. And you could say that I am at war against the QAnons. However, this shows you that Mr. Homseth is trying to make himself out to be more important than anyone else on any given day. He is constantly promoting himself. He is constantly making himself out to be something that he is not. But this is what we've been fighting, and this is what we will continue to fight as the days go forward. Now, on another note, it seems that General Flynn has been dishonorably discharged, again, by, of all people, QAnon, and by extension, Attorney Lin Wood. There has been ongoing debates about Mr. Flynn going on for quite some time. Not sure precisely what it is, although he's been declared a Satanist or taken out because he won't answer a question about some prayer or something. I'm not sure what that's all about. But this points out how easily you can be thrown out of the QAnon movement if you don't follow specific guidelines and do as you're told. And General Flynn apparently did not follow orders, and now he finds himself in trouble and an outcast. And Lin Wood is leading that movement. And since Timothy Charles Homseth declares that Lin Wood is the greatest hero of all time, other than the former president, he has decided to fall in line with Lin Wood in his criticism and ouster of General Flynn, who he had declared a hero early on. Tim Homseth admired General Flynn and spoke of him highly in the beginning. Now, General Flynn finds himself on Tim Homseth's shit list. I don't know if that's an honor or not, but that's where he's at. On another note, Tim Homseth and his fellow QAnons are attacking a woman that interviewed Craig Sawyer. Now, apparently, the woman is a former supporter of Field McConnell, and in the interview that I have yet to hear, she shed Craig Sawyer in a favorable light, more or less. And this got Tim Holmseth, the PPTF, and those around him upset. And so now this woman is outcast. She's accused of being involved in witchcraft and all kinds of nonsense. So much for the First Amendment. And so these little tidbits of weirdness are continuing on a daily basis when it comes to Holmseth and company. Now, on a final note, I've been getting private messages and so forth asking me about the videos that I have been putting up on a daily basis having to do with Operation or Project Resolve, whatever you want to call it, and wanting to know what it's all about and all that. Well, I am under a promise of confidentiality. I am fully aware of what this operation's about and what's going to happen once it takes off. And I have promised that I will not say a thing about it until authorized to do so. Now, it's my understanding that something is going to happen in this operation sometime in the month of November. I'm not sure when, and I'm not sure how. But there is something that's going to happen, and once I get authorization to say so, I will be commenting on it. And I'll be covering it extensively because, from what I understand, it's a rather important development. So I suggest everybody stay tuned for that. So I hope everybody has a good day today and so forth. Please like, subscribe, share, and hit the notification button. And I'll be back with more eventually. This is William K. Murtaugh, Mert Witness 1. Have a good one.